At the end of last year, I sat down and planned out my vision board, telling myself that in 2016, I wanted to go to more events, meet more people, and build a community of like-minded people. Except when I was looking at what was already out there, I noticed there weren't events for women of colour like there were for others. And if I wanted to get that, I needed to hop on a plane over to the US because they had the great ones out there. So, rather than complain that we didn't have spaces like this, I decided to create it. And after months and months of planning, visiting venue spaces and reaching out to potential speakers and sponsors, I created Why Not You. I called it this because when it came to business, investing and finances, as well as building a personal brand, a lot of women already eliminate themselves and say, that could never be me, I could never do those things, or look at people 100 steps ahead of them and think that could never be them. But a lot of it starts in the mindset and being able to see people that look like you doing those things. So instead of thinking that could never be me, you adopt the mindset of why not me? Hence the name. At my event, I'm going to be having speakers like Mia McGrath, Lamade Elizabeth, Biz Martins for our finance and investing panel, Dominique Travels and Adam Alorna for our personal branding panel, and Georgia Jasmine and Adam Assis for our building a 6 to 7 figure business panel. And since I'm making this for young women, built by young women, I also thought, why not make you guys part of the decision-making process? And since we have a space open for the personal branding and growing a 6 to 7 figure business panel, let me know in the comments who you would like to see. Anyway, back to the video.
Hey guys, firstly, I'm back with a new hair colour, first and foremost, and being 23, second and foremost, but there's so much to update you on. The main thing being I'm putting on an event and we're going to talk about it. So to help me talk about it, you want to come in and firstly introduce yourself? Miss Kyra, she's been mentioned in the vlog. She hasn't been in the vlogs, but I was going to say, let's talk about how we met, but we'll sit down and do a whole debrief.
A year-long debrief.
Yeah.
On the ups and downs of this journey.
Yeah, right, let's get into it. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down.
Okay, quick interjection, and I know I said we're getting back into the video, but in lead up to the event, I'm doing a series on female founders and thought leaders, and thought I may as well start with myself to give you a bit of background into who I am and how I got started. So here's that.
Why I am putting on an event, and also the why behind I'm even doing this. And to help me with that reason, I'm going to be with my dear friend that started off as what? Intern?
Yeah, I guess also kind of like a mentee, you know?
Yes. So dear friend that started off as intern, a kind of mentee, and we're going to break down why I not only thought it's going to help everyone, but especially people who are just starting out, like Kyra, freshly 18. So she's going to ask me a couple of questions that I feel like that are going to help people who are just starting out watching this, and also link it to my event and why it's an important space to have. So yeah, let's get into it.
Right, so obviously this event, you wouldn't be doing it without actually owning a business yourself and wanting to, educate people. So let's start with you, basically. So
Right.
At 19, you started your own business, and me, I'm 18 and looking to start my own business. So what decided to actually make you commit to this? Because a lot of people when they're young, they just want to try loads of different things. They want to go traveling. I mean, you do travel, but a lot. But yeah, what made you actually decide this is the thing that you wanted to do? And what even gave you the idea of advertisement? What drew you to that industry particularly?
Well, I would say firstly, when I first thought of the idea of going into business and whatnot, I was gonna go to university. I went to a very university catered school. That is all you're gonna do. But because it was COVID time and everyone was at home, we were doing online lessons and no one was at school anyway, I was kind of like, okay, right, I did a lot of research. I feel like then 17, 18 was kind of the time I was reading so many business books.
Which book?
You already know I know
Cybernetics?
Yes. I know people hate it. This was the first business book I read and people hate it. But Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
That book was banging.
No, oh yeah, exactly. But I actually think it was a really good book. But I know people say it's basic, but for me, I think like it opened my mind up to like, oh, okay, why building a business is good, why investing is good, why like different avenues are potentially good to get into rather than just going down the traditional route. So I was like, okay, let me, go about it and see. Well, before that, basically, long story short, I was going to university anyway to study business because it was COVID time, and I feel like COVID actually attributed a lot to where I am now because my friends were going to university, and because it was online lessons, I kind of thought, well, I'm not going to go if you're going to be sat at home anyway doing online lessons. Yes, university is for the the learning, but it's also for the partying and the experience and having fun. So I was like, okay, let me take a gap year. In that gap year, I did two internships, one at a fashion startup company in Spain, in Seville, best 3 months, it was so good, and then one in Sweden at a food company doing their marketing, and learned a whole bunch about marketing, about advertising, about startups and whatnot. And I was kind of like, okay, I find this a bit interesting. Also, my dad had a business when I was younger, so I kind of saw how he went about that and the benefits of doing that and whatnot, and I was like, okay, let me start something for myself. I'm young, I'm not 40 years old with children. Like, if it doesn't work out, I haven't got bills to pay, like I'm not going to be in a bad position.
There's nothing to lose.
Exactly,
right now.
Let me take the risk and let me do it. And plus also, I wanted to travel. I didn't want to have to ask someone, oh, can I take 2 weeks off? And then I can only take 2 weeks off in the whole 365 days. Did I want to do that? No. So, yeah, I wanted to travel and I wanted to make good money. And I could see that people were finishing university and making, 20 something. If it started with 20, if it started with 30, if it was anything under 80.
100.
Exactly. No, and I'm being so serious.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not even being like, oh, no, genuinely. So I was like, okay, I can see all these people do it. And in my head, maybe it's a bit of delusion. I always think if someone else has done it, of course I can do it too. So that's how I got into starting my business. And yeah.
I think what actually made you want to commit to doing this? Because obviously I know you're very ambitious, but it's still a big commitment and you've stuck through for how long and done so well. So what do you think really drove that in you?
Why did I commit? One, I feel like in my head, how I kind of thought of it was my age mates, let's say, or friends were going to university and committing the next 3-4 years to that anyway and getting in debt for it. So I was like, let me commit the next 3-4 years to it, see how it goes, see if I can make good money from it. And if it doesn't work out, I'm young, I can switch to something else. Because I was going down the whole advertising marketing route. And I was like, if it doesn't work out, I can do something else. So that was kind of my thought process, I feel like, rather than overthinking it and being like, okay, I don't know what to do.
Moving on to the early stages of starting this, what were some of the I feel like I've spoken to you so many times, but I've never heard the mistakes you made. It seems to just be all success. But what were some of the mistakes? What were some of the first mistakes you made, but you had to make them because that's what you learned the most from?
Mistakes. Okay, one. Okay, I feel like because I was when I first started and I just wanted to make money, I would just accept any client, whether they're a bad client, whether they don't. Because originally I was like, okay, I want to go for e-commerce clients or I want to go for hair and beauty clients. And I was like, I want to have a baseline of charging X amount. But because I wanted to make money, I was like, okay, if they say, oh, we'll pay you 300 or 500 or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And then I'd accept any type of rubbish. If they were rude, if they were paying
late. Were there
rude
people?
Yes. But you know what? I feel like I actually think it's good to have all the bad experiences and all the bad, even though in the moment it wasn't good, it was good to have, because now I can be like, oh, I would never accept a bad client or someone that does this or someone that does that. What else did I do? I feel like when I first started having no structure as well, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm working for myself, but okay, I can wake up at any time and I can do this and I can have no structure of the day, but nothing actually happened. I had to be like, okay, right, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to the gym, I know every single morning I'm going to have that routine, I'm going to reach out to 10 or 15 people every single day, and whether I enjoyed doing it or I was bored or I was it just had to be done. And I think not having those non-negotiables was a mistake, because then I was just in my head as well, oh, I'm so upset, I'm not getting to where I want to be, but I wasn't putting the work I needed to do.
Yeah.
So I had to self-reflect and be like, okay.
Did it take long to develop that routine? Because I think, especially when you leave school, you spent 14 years in the same routine. You wake up, go to school.
That's a good point.
So was that process hard?
I think it was, yes, but also, so during that year itself, because yes, I was working on the business, but I was figuring things out. So it was like I was working for free and I was doing the internships and I was traveling, doing Camp America and whatnot. When I finished with all the travels and it was like, okay, either I need to see if this works or I'm going to university, it was like, me personally, I think the gym really helped, because having the routine of even if it's a small thing, every single day I knew I would wake up, this is when I was crazy, I'd wake up at 6 in the morning, before 6, walk to the gym, and I had to do it, whether it was snowing, whether it was raining, whether it was horrible and cold, and I did it every single day, and that instilled in me the routine. So even if I'd come back from the gym and still be rubbish with sorting all the business stuff out, because I slowly developed, and this is the thing, because I feel like people think it's going to be a fast process, but it's a very slow process. You would look at me now and be like, oh my God, I have such a good routine, I have the ambition. It was not like that before.
Yeah.
So it just took time, and it just took doing the small things. So yeah, the gym, and then it might have been reaching out to 2 people a day, and then 5 people a day, and then 10 people a day. It built up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think the gym is something that most entrepreneurs talk about, and working out having to be part of their routine. Because I think even with even if it's not to do with business, just proving to yourself that you're going to do something every day, you begin to trust yourself. So it's then when you are making business decisions, you trust yourself more, because you know you're going to do what you told yourself you need to do.
yeah.
But
Wait, let's flip the question as well. So what would you say you struggle with in terms of routine and having a structure?
to be fair, I think where I don't know, okay, I know what I want to do, but where I'm working with so many different people, I don't have 2 hours working with this client. It might be a lot of last minute things which are in my routine. But I think the worst part is my sleep routine. I went to bed at 4 a.m. this
You know
morning.
what? I did think that, because yesterday you messaged me and it was 3:30 and I was thinking, why is she awake at
It's
this
really bad.
time? So,
Because
yeah.
it's I'd love to wake up, not 6, maybe 7:38. Go to the gym.
7:38, that's around. Okay.
Not 7:38, 7:30/8.
Oh. I was thinking, okay.
Everybody has that ideal routine, wake up, go to the gym, work, do some self-reflection. But this year has taught me life doesn't go one way. And, you just got to adapt and I think when you have those non-negotiables, those things that you need to get done, sometimes you just got to focus on that and let life.
Yeah. And also just getting the hard things out at the start of the day.
Yeah.
Because for me, if I don't go to the gym first in the morning, then by the time it gets after 12, I'm like, okay, right, now I have to do this and now I have to do, and I'll just leave it. And
make excuses. So, yeah, what was your first paying client? What was your first paying client? How are you reaching out to them? And what was you doing that made you trust them? Because obviously with these businesses, they're getting loads of people reaching out to them. So what do you think it was particularly about you that made you trust them?
That made them trust me?
Yeah, that one.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So my first, I'm going to say proper paying client was Silk and Supply. Shout out to her. I still speak to her. She's going to be on this video series actually next week. But what made her trust me, I think, was the fact that, because before I worked with her, I worked at Rucker Hair. I was doing an internship there, and I was their advertising specialist or whatnot. And this, with the conversation with Denny, how she was talking about you like, even if you're working for free or you build up case studies, I think why she trusted me is because she had a hair brand and she could see that I had worked with, and plus Rucker was a big hair company.
Yeah.
She could see that I'd worked with a big hair company and I'd done exactly what I'm going to do for them, for her. So for example, if you wanted to work with, let's just say for example, a skincare company, and they're a big, because at the time when I started working with her, maybe I won't say numbers because I don't know if she says numbers like out there. I'd say she was at about 5k followers, so she wasn't that big. So now I don't know how many followers she's at now, but she was quite small. And it was just being like, look, I've clearly done this for this company and I know I can do it for you. And I'm so glad she trusted me because it helped build up the case studies.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not even going to say like, when you start out, you're not going to be great. And even she'll know, like, the ads that I was doing, they weren't amazing, but they still brought in sales and they still done decently well. It's just showing that you can do it for other people and you can do it well. And also, I'm sure I said like I can't even remember the guarantee that I put on that, but it's also being like a personable, or I don't know what the word is, but like having those people skills, like one of the key I think
people buy a lot of the time from the person.
Exactly. And a lot of times I've got on calls and people will be, oh, I really like your personality, or this, that. Oh, what can I say? This, that, and the other. So I think that helps.
Yeah. I think one important thing that a lot of people don't talk about, like people tell you, you can do this to make money, but when you actually make the money, what do you do with it? Because obviously when you're young, you know, you could have just spent it all, but I know you're into investing. So when you started making the money, what was you doing with it? Where was it going?
That's a good question. Okay, now, I feel like the only thing I spend my money silly on, I'm not going to say it's silly, but travelling. You know I like to travel a lot. I've literally just got back from Thailand and the Philippines. That's the silliness aside. Other than that...
But that helps you grow though. Travelling helps you grow. So it's an investment,
yes,
you know?
I'll put it like that. So, when I was young, this was during COVID times, because all we could do was be at home, I used to watch so many investing videos. What's his name? Graham Stephan. I used to watch all of these videos. I used to watch, what books did I read? I can't even remember the books that I read. So many investing books. But when I was like literally 18, I opened Vanguard, investing account.
I need to do research because I don't even know what that is.
You do. I literally opened one for my brother as soon as he turned 18.
Yeah.
And he hasn't put money in it, and I've told him he needs to. That's a story for another time.
Because even what's it called? When like you turn 18, you get like a child trust or some people get like a child trust from the government. And it was like, they told me the amount and they was like, you can take it or we can put it into like another ISA. But like, I didn't know what to do. So I just took the money. And where's the money now? It's gone. So
yeah,
it's important to learn about these things.
And this is why, again, link it to my event, because we're going to have a finance panel, a great finance panel. I think it's so important to see, again, women that look like you doing these things, because you can, or just knowing about it's the education. Because if you don't know about it, then what can you do? You can't do anything. So yeah, I read those things and I was like, okay, I also know, if you've watched my videos, the things that I want to achieve, the life that I want to have.
She wants to be Gisillionaire.
There we go. So I was like, okay, how are other people doing it? Because it's not just they're earning their money and they're putting their money in their savings account and then what inflation and all this and it's going to go. No, they're investing it. So I thought a lot of them, and you have to understand as well, the position, fortunately, I was in is that I lived at home. So I also get that some people can't, like, they have to pay bills, they have children, they have this and that. I didn't have any major outgoing, so a lot of the money I was earning, even when it was like 2k a month or even £1,000 a month, 80% of that was going into an investment account, or
80%?
Like pretty much all of it. If I wasn't out the country, like when I would go to Sweden, I was staying at my aunt's house, thankfully to her, or when I went to Spain, like I'd try and, this is the good thing about traveling, because I'd make friends and then I'd stay with them. So when I went to the US, I'd stay with them, or this, that and the other. But if I wasn't traveling, if I'm at home, even now, I feel like a good 70, other than this event, because this event is costing me, as you know, that's where you have to go, guys, because it's a lot of money spent on it. But no, not just for that, the value too.
Yeah, of course.
But other than this event and then the travel that I've just been on, the majority of my money literally goes into an investment account.
That is crazy that you invest that much, because I think most people say like 15% or 20%. Everybody says something different.
Yeah.
But like,
I suppose it
dedicated.
depends how much you can put in. Like, also, someone who's going to be at my panel, Mia McGrath, she had the whole, investing 100K by 24. And I saw that and I was like, I see I have competition. So now, what am I? Just turned 23. Maybe I feel like I'll hit that. No. Okay, maybe I won't put this on YouTube, but it's a... So, that will be bleeped out, but maybe, I don't think I'll say... You know what, I'll be optimistic. I feel like by halfway past 24, that could be achieved.
I see it happening. Okay, cool. When it comes to running a business, being an entrepreneur, a lot of it is down to the mindset, which you do speak about. So when things get hard, when you make those mistakes, what is it that you tell yourself to like push through it? That doesn't make you go, oh, let me just get an office job.
You know what? Honestly, again, it's been a long time because at the start, as soon as it would get hard, I would literally be on LinkedIn. I'd be on LinkedIn jobs looking at advertising jobs.
Editing my CV.
Literally. And then I'd kind of reflect and be like, do you know what would actually get to me? Because I tried to do a mixture between, like, you know how you have like the nice manifesting, like, girl business people, like, oh, you can get what you want by manifesting. And then I also follow a lot of men business people, and Alex Hormozy I actually really like, because he just says it how it is. And he had this video, maybe I saw it like 3 years ago, and he was like, oh, when you're starting a business or doing things hard, like 99% of people are gonna quit when it's hard. If you want something great, you have to get...
He was like, just push through, just keep on pushing.
No, and I was like, and I saw the comments and like, oh, you're pushing too hard, this and the other. But realistically, if you look at where he is, whether you agree with it or not, clearly his advice works, because I can imagine there's been so many things that have gone wrong, so many difficult things that he had to get through, but he still went through it when so many other people quit. And I had to think to myself, okay, what, I've lost a client, or I'm back at zero, or this has happened, or I'm really upset and I've had this issue with a client. But I'm like, okay, either I can quit and be like 80% of people who are now complaining, I don't make a lot of money and I wish this and I wish that, or I can put things in my own hands and my own control and do what I can and continue and make it work.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of Alex Hormozy, he's a great person to watch, but there's a lot of people, I'm not gonna name names, in the industry who are creating just insane content. Like, I think they'll be spreading the word. They'll just tell you, oh, if you're pretty and you're a girl, you can make money. You don't have to work. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, it's not the truth. That's not the realities of it. They make it seem so good and so pretty. Like, I'll be watching people who are like 18 and they're making like 6 figures a month. They've got this massive house, but it's like, that's just not the reality of it. Of course you can do that, but it's not the reality of it. So as somebody who consumes a lot of content like that, what are some of the people that you think like people should listen to, and what is one of the main things you could focus on rather than listening to outside noise?
yeah. Well, one, I think it is difficult, because with all those people, it's like, especially being young, you'll see that and you'll be like, okay, I'm not at that position, or, oh, okay, like you'll get upset because you're like, oh, okay, they've done all these things, or you'll try this and you'll try that and it won't work. For me, I think, people that I listen to first, or like what?
Yeah, people that you listen to, and why you even listen to them, and what is it that they say that you listen to?
I would say, okay, firstly, I don't listen to anyone that I wouldn't want to be in the position of. And I know that sounds bad, but like, let's say people in real life, someone's giving me advice, like, respectfully, would you take fitness advice from a fat person?
Nope.
Exactly. We'll put it how it is. So I wouldn't take advice from, and I feel like you need to do your due diligence or whatever it's called. But like, if you're going to take finance advice or money advice or whatever, you're not going to take it from okay, maybe if they have a Rolls Royce. I feel like with the internet, it's easy to fake things.
Yeah, because they be renting them Rolls Royces. Did I not tell you? They were just renting it.
Yeah, that's a difficult one actually. But a lot of the people I've watched for a long time, if it's come down to like business and finance, or I know like I've come across them from books or whatnot.
Yeah, like credible sources.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know, again, a lot of people have things to say about Iman Gadzhi, but I used to I don't watch him as much now, but like I used to love his content, and maybe that's because I used to watch him from when he was like 17. That's why I also got into my marketing agency and whatnot. So I feel like when you can clearly see people have documenting their journey and you've seen step by step how they've done it, I'm like, oh, fair enough, you've done what you've said you do. So Iman Gadzhi I love. Alex Hormozi I actually do really like. Emma Grede.
Emma Grede. Don't want to decide on that one.
She's great. Who else? I can't think of there's a lot of like people that I list. Lamade Elizabeth, she's speaking at the event. I actually really like her content. Not only is it like, again, black woman, love to see she's doing great things, but like how she just took, like, I love people that speak big. Like, I feel like in the UK there's so many people,
it's this narrow mindset.
Yes, exactly, and that's why I try not always, like, I don't necessarily speak about, when I say, okay, if I wanted to become a millionaire by 30 or make 10k a month, that's not doable, you can never do these things. But I will watch someone like Lamade Elizabeth or like Mia McGrath or whatever, and they'll be casually saying it, or even how Denny was literally saying, oh, okay, you know, she has friends on the Forbes under 30 list or this and the other. If you're around those people and you see those things, I just think it's so great. So Lamade Elizabeth, I love.
They're creating that standard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, especially, I think that's why it's so important to like connect with people who are doing what you want to do, because they say things casually, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, it is easy. Literally. Oh, I don't like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I remember she made a video and it was like, oh, the similar one, oh, how I'm going to become a millionaire by 30. She's talking about how she has these investment properties and how much she's, like, her plans. Like, she didn't go into loads and loads of detail, but like, even at a high level, I was like, firstly, if she can do it, I can do it. And secondly, like, it's so great to see people speaking like this, because again, in the UK, it's like, oh my gosh, you want to do that, and oh my gosh,
it's like ambition is like taboo.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say, but even saying you're going to start a business is like, why don't you just go to university? Why don't you just get a job? Like, a lot of the times, like, my parents would be like, oh, just get a job, you know, to like have that security. And it's like, cool, security is great, but I believe in myself too much to like get too comfortable in a job. Like, I have to keep on striving, especially like, even if I was to do this for 4 years, I'll be 22.
Exactly.
People start businesses at like 35. The average millionaire is 40.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But on the other hand, because my mum is kind of the same when I started, I had to kind of think of it like, I can't, because at the start, when I was young, I'd be like, oh my God, why are you telling me these things? Blah, blah, blah. But also, I understand back in their time, like, I can't, that's what's ingrained to them. That's what's ingrained to most people. So I can't be like, oh my God, like, I'll take it on the chin, but also, like, that was security for them. And also, back in those times, I feel like jobs were a lot more stable and things like that. You have people now that have super high paying jobs, and
you
because
can't
of
get
how,
a house.
Yeah,
you can't even get a studio
exactly,
flat.
which is crazy. And then there being, when people say like, oh yeah, a job is so secure, and I've seen people that actually have made loads of money in a job who've been laid off, and then they're struggling to pay the bills. But like, okay, I'd rather have that with my business than working with someone else. But
you spoke about the gym, but what is one habit or routine that's helped you to stay consistent?
Other than the gym,
I feel like the gym is just a great one, because even I was watching, I think it was Mel Robbins, and she was speaking to, I don't remember who she was speaking to, but there's something called, I forgot what it's called. It's called like key habits or keystone habits, something like that. But basically, there's certain things you can do that trigger your brain to like carry out being proactive throughout your day. So like things like having a morning routine, eating breakfast, going to the gym, making your bed. It kind of like instills that in you, because people are saying like if you go to the gym, you're not going to go to McDonald's after, are you? Because it's like, no, I've done that. Yeah. Even going to the gym can make you be better with money and spend less money. So there's all these different things that stem from just having that one good habit.
I think it definitely, I think it's such a good one, and it definitely ties in with a lot of different things. Like one, I just think that, because if you have the discipline to look like every single day you're going somewhere, you're putting effort into, you have that discipline, I feel like it will then materialize in other facets of your life. So I'm trying to think of any others. I used to, which is quite bad, I don't do it as often now, but I used to read a lot, like every day as well.
Yeah.
That was a good routine, because for me, because I didn't go to university, I was always like, if I'm not going to go to university, I'm still going to make sure I'm learning. And so on that, what else?
Do you journal?
I used to be a little mischief, like every single night.
I think just being able to track what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
Because somebody said that, I listened to all these quotes, but I couldn't remember them. It was like, you can't get to your goal without tracking the journey there. Because I use journaling just for like, to track my emotions. Like if I know that I get angry a lot, when I'm angry, write down what I'm angry. Then you start to realise, and that's how you actually build and grow and change. Yeah, well, that's the entirety of my questions.
So, not after all of that, but why do you think, because you already know that you've been working with me for a while.
A year.
Yeah, but with the event itself, you know the behind the scenes, and you've seen me working on it, and we've been planning a lot. Why do you think, let's say someone similar to you, 18, wanting to get started, or they're 20 whatever and wanting to grow further, why do you think it would be a good event to go to?
Because one thing I've learned from...
It won't be.
Don't come. No. Okay, let's say I started like proper work in this industry a year ago. The one thing that's actually made me grow success is literally my network. From meeting people, reaching out to people, and if you're coming to this event, you know exactly who's going to be in the room. You're going to meet so many people. Even if you just meet 2 people, just talk to 2 people, take 2 Instagrams, you can build so much off of that. Like, even look at today, I've sat with you, I've sat with Danae, that's 2 pieces of content that's going to reach how many people. You're going to be in a room, you know exactly who you're talking to, you can prepare your pitch, you can get your Instagram ready looking like, you know what I mean? Like, your network is so important, and just going out, even if you're not going to like a specific event, just going out and meeting people, you learn so much. And also, it's just going to be a good time.
True.
It's an investment in your career. It literally, like, I'm not even trying to blag it. It literally, I mean, hopefully I get a free ticket, but even if I wasn't, I'd pay, you know?
Hopefully you'll get a free ticket.
Yeah.
Do you think I'd make you pay to go to the event?
No, but it is literally like an investment in your career. It's an investment in yourself, and start with yourself, you know, this is something for you.
Okay, Emma, agreed.
Yeah, I had to put it in there, do you know what I mean? But yeah, and aside from that, it's going to be a good time. Like, just in a day and age where, think about, if you're in this, most of the content you're consuming is online. You need to realise that the business exists in the real world too. It's not just online. So getting to understand people, you're going to meet people on a more personable level as well. Get to know the real people, you know, have a good chat with Luella, you know.
I'll be there. Well, of course I'll be there.
I hope you'll be there. But yeah, just for a good time, just socialise with people, you know.
And I feel like even not just for like the meeting the business owners and whatnot, if you're like, let's say you were like 18 and you wanted to meet like-minded people.
I want to meet my competition. I haven't met my competition yet. I want to meet my competition, and no, but friendly competition is good.
Yeah.
Like, but it's true. Like, you're gonna see people who are doing better than you, and when you see people who are doing better than you, you have to elevate to that level. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're surrounded in a room of 5 losers, you're going to be the 6th. If you're surrounded in a room with 200 successful women, you're going to be the 201st successful woman in that room. Like, it's a no-brainer. Invest in yourself, invest in your career, start with yourself. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm standing on that.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to look at everybody who viewed the YouTube video, and if they're not there,
you're going to
I'm emailing you, okay?
Every single
one of you.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Right. I feel like that was a good way to end the video. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any last words?
Do you know what my last words are? I want to say thank you to Luella. For being, you know, a great example of success.
Thank you.
Not just in business, but in mindset. And
thank you.
Having somebody to look up to is a great thing. Another reason why I should come to the event and have people to look up to. But yeah, that's all I got to say.
Fabulous.
It's been a long day. It's been a good day. Learned so much stuff. So much stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for the event, and yeah.
Yeah, peace out, people. Part 2 tomorrow, I suppose.
Yeah,
We've
part
got a
2.
whole day of filming tomorrow with some great people. So we're looking forward to that too. Alrighty, guys, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, back again.
Right. There we go. Fabulous. Oh, gosh. That was a good video.